Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K.
Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for stopping by. Today I am continuing to work on my Margarete Miller Collage Weekly Planner, and we are already to week number 36. And this one's going to be an interesting one. Sometimes just these general collage ones are a little bit more challenging for me, but we'll just see what we come up with here. And so for this week's prompt, it says, which animals and insects make distinctly identifiable sounds? Well, all animals and most insects, I think, make some sort of sound. And then you're supposed to collage with the images of these creatures. And so I went through my stash again. I'm just trying to use up pieces from my stash. And so I pulled any animals that I thought made distinctive noises, or bugs, insects, those kind of things. And so right away I did come across this scrap piece of paper. It has some bugs, and I'm sure they make an insect-like noise. And this came off of some Bo Bunny paper that looks like this. I actually have several little sheets of it. And it seems like I always use the butterflies and the dragonflies and the keys, but I never use this piece. And so I have that piece that I can maybe try and incorporate into my collage. I also came across this little photo, and it's a photo that my husband took of a bee. And it's inside of a wavy leaf thistle, which is a really cool thistle plant, and it's really pretty. So the bee really stands out right there. So I think I would really like to use this as my main image. I've had that in my stash for a while. A while back I did a nature journal, and he had printed that photo off for me, and it didn't make the cut in that journal, but it's still one of my favorite pictures of his, of some, macro photography of insects. And so I picked that one out. And then the other thing for me that really, animals that make, distinctive identifiable sounds are definitely birds. You guys know I do like birds, and I do a lot of birding in the springtime for my job. And so I do have this collage piece that I've used part of the birds on here, but I do have this left over, and there are some birds on here that have their own distinct sound. In North Dakota, which is the state bird, the meadowlark, has a distinct sound. If you guys have ever heard yellow-headed blackbirds, they definitely have a distinct sound. I'm not going to say it's very pretty. It almost sounds like somebody's screeching, but you definitely know that one's around when you hear one of those. The warblers and everything have their own little sounds to them. The cedar waxwing up here does. He kind of has a high-hitched, like, buzzing, bzz type sound when he's around. And so I could use one of those. Also on this side there's some birds here that have their own distinct sounds. Like the oriole has a really pretty song to it. The towhee right here, he almost sounds like, to me, like a little machine gun, and then he says reap. So he has a distinct sound. And then also the dick sissel. He actually says his name, Dick Sissel. So that one's a fun one to listen to too. So I could cut out some of these birds for part of the collage. And then of course I have some random, like, Tim Holtz paper from one of his paper pads. This one has all sorts of insects on there, so I could collage that somehow on the background of that one. And then I also found this one, the butterfly, doesn't necessarily have a sound to it, but I just thought I like the black of this, so I could maybe just use that as a back piece or something, is what I was thinking on that one. Otherwise I had this one, but it just, I don't know, I didn't like the look of that picture. And so so I'm thinking I might just cut this down and just use it as a background piece. I kind of like that black, the look of the black. And then I could put this on here, collage it somewhere on one of the sides. And then what I was thinking was, the bee kind of has a buzz noise to it. And so I do have these typewriter key rubber stamps sitting here. And so I thought I could stamp out the word buzz, and then they're circles. So then I would punch them out and write the word buzz, whether it's across the bottom or across the top, possibly. And so then I did pick out a couple scrap papers. I have kind of this purpley color that's the bee is in, and then I found this a little bit brighter green. It's not quite the same green as the bee's head, but it's close enough, and it's a scrap that I've had forever in my stash. So they're, I think it's actually cardstock from, I'm not sure who it was from, Bo Bunny maybe, when they had different cardstocks with stripes and patterns on them. And so I could use some of these just to fill in the gaps on here. So, I think I'm going to put that in the middle, and then I'll put this to the right or the left, and I'll punch out the word buzz. And so I'll start with that, and then once I get these punched out and stamped, and then this paper cut down a little bit, I'll come back and do the rest of the layout with you. Again, I'm just going to layer up, you know, the scraps of the purple and the green paper, I think, along here. And I'm just going to call that good for this week. I could, like I said, cut out possibly, I guess, if I wanted to. I could maybe cut out some of these birds right here maybe and put them down in the right-hand corner. I could do that too. So I might cut these out and just take a peek and see what that looks like too. So I'm going to do all that and come back and do the layout with you guys. So I just finished cutting everything out, and I just wanted to give you a little update before I glued everything down, and just so you can kind of peek at my layout. I did punch out the word buzz, and I cut out the circles. And so I'm going to lay those across there with the green paper there, and then also the little green paper down here. There's a little bit of purple scrap that I had left over, so I put that over in the corner. I left the graphic 45 paper in the middle with the bee as kind of my main focal point, and then also these other little bugs right here. And then on my desk I found this scrap of beads. It's purple beads, and I thought they were kind of fun. So I think I'm going to hang those off of the bottom just for fun, and just to have something dangling off of the bottom. So I'm going to do all that, and then I'll come back through and read the prompt with you guys one more time, and we'll call this week done. So I'm back. I did go ahead and glue everything down. I still feel like it's missing something, but for now I'm going to call it good. I feel like it maybe could use like a circle with another bug or something right here. Just something else right there just to make it like a set of 3. But I just don't have anything off of the top of my head that I know of in my stash. So as I'm cleaning, getting ready for my new craft room, if I come across anything that I think will fit here better, I will go ahead and add it. And if I remember, I'll come back and tell you guys. But for now, I'm just going to call this good. And again, our prompt for week number 36 was, which animals and insects make distinctly identifiable sounds, and make a collage with these images. And so this is my little collage. I just chose to use a couple different bugs for this one. And then I wrote the word buzz across the top. And I just layered some different papers in the background. And so again, I just want to thank everybody so much for watching this week. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys are all doing well, and I hope to see you back next week for week number 37.